Hello, Bronwyn Lund from BronHolm Tours here. I'm in Poland. I'm in a town called Kolobrzeg, and we're just going to go on a walking tour through the town centre. So I hope you enjoy the tour. Just across the road here is the hotel that we're staying at, the Hotel New Scanpol. And I don't normally rave about hotels, but this one is actually really excellent. It's a really reasonable price, and the breakfast buffet is included in the price of the rooms, and absolutely fantastic. And the staff have just gone out of their way to serve and give us a really good experience while we're here in Kolobrzeg. So yeah, just a really great hotel. So I think we'll definitely be coming back and staying there again. Now across the road here is the post office, and we're just going to turn to the left and walk through one of the many absolutely beautiful parks that are a part of this town, and these parks have really taken me by surprise because they're not really mentioned in any of the information about the town. But there is just these absolutely beautiful green areas throughout the entire town with these beautifully kept garden beds. So I'm just going to walk through this park a little bit, and then we're walking past it now. We're going to walk up the street that's to our right to the cathedral, and I'll end the tour up at the cathedral. And we'll walk past a palace, which actually has become the museum of the town. But we'll just walk around this park a little before we head up the street to the cathedral. The town is a port town. It's served as a major port town for Germany and Poland and any of the other sort of countries that have occupied the area for a millennium. And I have actually done another walk, the Kolobrzeg harbour walk, which also goes along the beach, so check that out. I'm just going to look back down along this lovely bed of flowers up here to the right, which looks down along to a waterfall. And then, as I said, turn up and go up the street, up the main street of the town. The area has changed hands many times over the last millennium, and up until the end of 1945, this part of Poland was actually Germany, and was actually German, and so the German name for the town is Kolobrzeg. And I have heard people on Bornholm still refer to this town as Kolobrzeg, maybe because it's a little bit easier to pronounce than Kolobrzeg. But it came back into Polish hands at the end of the Second World War. So the area has certainly had its fair share of trials and tribulations. You can see the cathedral up here at the end of the street. We'll cross over so we get a nice view of the palace that's just squeezed in between these modern buildings on the left. And it's just the detailed touches that I really like about this town, with the hanging baskets around the lamps. Things like that that make this a lovely town. Actually, we'll just walk down here because this looks quite interesting, this little spot. So we're actually out the back of the palace, and I imagine that this would have been the palace gardens. Over to the right you can see we're walking past the museum, and that pink building was actually a palace. So we'll just turn the corner up here and go around to the front of the palace and read a little bit about the history of the palace before we continue on up to the cathedral. The town also has a lot of interesting sculptures and artwork, which I haven't seen before. There's just so much to do here. We are here as a family, and we are grandparents, parents and children, so we're 3 generations travelling together. And the thing I really like about this town is that there's really something for everyone. My parents were at a concert in the cathedral last night, and my in-laws, they were down on the harbour having a couple of beers. So there's just all sorts of different things that people can do here. So we'll just cross over and have a look at the museum from the opposite side of the road, and then go over and read about the history of the palace. You can see the hotel just in the distance there on the horizon. That's where we've come from, just as a point of orientation. And the tree. So this pink building was once a palace, now a museum. And it says here it was built by a rich merchant, Christian F. Pullerman, in the 1820s as a dowry for his daughter Elma, who married Heinrich Brunswig. An example of luxurious residence in Empire style. Rich decorations of the halls on both floors, and Plofond Hall, which was the former banquet hall, was on the first floor. And meetings were organised for the men of the sea. Before World War II, the building was purchased by the town, and they changed it into a museum. After the war, which ended in 1945, it was the office of the Safety Department, the court, and other institutions. And in the 1970s, the building was renovated, and since 1977 has been the Museum of Polish Arms and a Museum of History. So now we'll walk up to the cathedral and around the cathedral. We were on a tour yesterday in some vintage cars. It was really an excellent tour, and they had quite a lot of information about the town on the tour, which was great. And they were saying that this monument in front of us is a monument of the relations between Poland and Germany. You can see Otto III, German Empire, and the breaking down of the peace and the breaking down of the wars between the countries, and recognising that the countries haven't always been friends. But at the top of this sculpture is a dove, which of course is the symbol of peace, and gives hope that in the future the countries will remain friends. So we'll just walk around the cathedral to get a feeling for the centre of the town, really. Over to the left is the town hall, of course. There's a market square in between the town hall and the cathedral. But as you can see, it's just a lovely town, beautifully kept, clean. I mean, there's no rubbish about. Puts Copenhagen to shame, that's for sure. Just going around the back of the basilica now. I mean, you can see it's a massive structure. And when you go inside, it's really quite incredible. It has soaring pillars right up to the ceiling. It's a 13th century cathedral that has been built on many times, so it's got quite a interesting building style, particularly when we come around to the front of the cathedral. It's not the prettiest of cathedrals, but it's certainly very impressive. And it was actually a Protestant cathedral up until 1945, because of course Germany is a predominantly Lutheran country, and when Kolobrzeg became Polish again, the cathedral was converted back to Catholicism again, so it's now a Catholic cathedral again after many years of being Protestant cathedral. St Mary's Basilica. Around the year 1300, the authorities started building the existing Gothic church as a capitulary and parish church for the whole town. At first it had a form of three, an aisle hall with a large presbytery. Later on, a tower edifice and two additional aisles were built. In the 15th century, the church the translation's not that great. In the 15th century, the church achieved the shape existing up to now. So in the 15th century, the church was built to the form that it is today. Its magnitude and interior richness are effects of the rich Hanseatic town's ambition, and medieval Kolobrzeg was such a town. In the years 1531 to 1945, it was an evangelic church, so it was Protestant. During the sieges of Kolobrzeg, it was seriously damaged and rebuilt at the end of the 19th century. In March 1945, it was totally burnt inside. The presbytery was rebuilt for sacral purposes and the tower as a museum. In 1972, the church became a Catholic cathedral, and within 10 years it was rebuilt in its original shape. In 1986, the Pope John Paul raised it to the dignity of minor basilica. There are medieval pieces of art within the basilica. So there's a 4-metre high, 7-sided chandelier from 1327, canonic stalls from 1340, a baptismal a baptismal font from 1355, and other artefacts. So that was a tour of the town of Kolobrzeg in Poland. Hope you enjoyed the tour. This is Bronwyn Lund from BronHolm Tours, signing off. Bye for now.